STEM creates a learning process for students to be able to tackle real-world problems. It's not about finding set answers that we're looking for in a test. It's about giving them a problem and going through a process to find a solution. We feel that that is a better approach for equipping students in the future.
A number of colleagues, staff from the university have gotten together with CESA and are looking at how we can support teachers and students in their learning around STEM. And at the same time, being able to take some of these successful ideas back to our pre-service teachers in our initial teacher education.
And the biggest surprise for me was their motivation and their engagement levels. All the students, even the reluctant learners, they really wanted to get on board with the engineering design process. Brilliant ideas came out of it, their imagination, their creativity, their entrepreneurial skills were just amazing. And even the children that were perhaps quite shy, they wanted to get up in front of the class and actually explain their projects and their prototypes and why they would work and how they could relate them to the real world. So that to me was quite amazing.
STEM learning is a subject which can be looked at from two approaches, one being an academic approach of science, technology, engineering and maths, and one being a life skills approach, which is teamwork, collaboration and persistence. Robotics is one of the most fun things I've done this year because it has lots of challenges and lots of problems, but once you overcome them, it's really fun to do it.
We know how much things have changed in our world and also in education, and how students are learning differently. And so from our research, we can work with teachers to inform them about successful practices, but also allow them to explore and find out what works.
I've started off getting involved in some challenges initially from the University of South Australia, and at that point hadn't had much exposure to the digital technologies at all, but it's given me the opportunity to enhance my learning and my understanding of the digital technologies area, and to learn to take on that facilitator role and to feel comfortable in a classroom that I'm not the expert, I don't know all the answers, but being able to guide the students to find the right answers. To me, it's a refreshing way of teaching where I'm not expected to be the font of all knowledge. I'm there to help encourage and facilitate the learning process.
They've been socialised into thinking that there's lots of compartments in their learning. So maths belongs here, English belongs there, science belongs there, and they don't see that there's connections between them. Using the STEM approach, the children use all the skills they've attained from all their learning areas and try to solve their problem.
The skill set required for our future employees require them to be creators, innovators and entrepreneurs. A STEM approach to learning helps students to develop those skills for future employment. During one particular lesson, some students were having some difficulty with a robot. After much trial and error, collaboration with other students, the students found a solution to their problem, and that really surprised me because I thought they could give up quite easily.
It feels really good to know that you've tried so hard and that all the work has finally paid off. You kind of get to celebrate in a little way because you know that you've finished it and you can move on to something new.
We see STEM as all about establishing those industry partnerships and also the education partnerships that exist in South Australia and beyond. And UniSA have a lot to offer. They've been a great support and they've got some excellent programs that we can adapt and that we can link into. And we've been really lucky to be able to collaborate with St Columba Memorial School and St Patrick's and collaborate with teachers so that we can bring their experiences into our school and our school can bring our experiences to them in a way that's going to improve learning outcomes for all students.
We know that our world needs people who can think critically, creatively, problem solve and work together collaboratively. And so hopefully that's what this project's doing.
I think it's really good for when we get out of school and there are jobs, because more jobs now are becoming about robotics and engineering and building these sorts of things. So I think it's really handy that we have these skills for when we get older.